Chloe, you have to hear this. I went down an insane rabbit hole about a story from Korea, and it's giving major creepy small town mystery. So picture this super remote island, so peaceful they nicknamed it Peaceful Isle. It's a tiny village of like 50 people total. Everyone's a fisherman or an oyster farmer. They've all known each other since birth, and they literally don't lock their doors. The kind of place where nothing bad could ever happen. Well, that all blew up in 2016. So there's this sweet old lady, the island's unofficial grandma. Her name was Oh Bok-soon. Whispering, obviously not her real name, but we'll call her Grandma Oh. She lives alone. Everyone loves her. One day, she's a no-show at the village meeting. Her best friends, two other grandmas named Grandma Choi and Grandma Jung, get worried. They call, no answer, so they decide to pop over to her house. And this is where it gets shady AF. They find the door unlocked, walk in, and they find her in her bedroom. It was a horrific scene, Chloe. I mean, brutal. The coroner later said she was hit in the head over a dozen times. Just pure calculated violence. But do they call 911? Nope. For a whole hour, they just don't. No cap. First, they stand there arguing, maybe she just fell, she gets those dizzy spells. Then Grandma Choi is like, we have to call her son in Seoul first. It's a family matter. They literally let other curious neighbors come in and out of the room, trampling all over the evidence. It's giving a masterclass in how to contaminate a crime scene. Their official excuse to the cops was even wilder. They thought she did it to herself. Because she had a bad lung, they were like, oh, she must have been in so much pain, she just hit her own head against the wall. Like, what? It makes zero sense. So the cops show up to this nightmare, no forced entry, no signs of a struggle, a crime scene that's been partied in. The profilers are sure it was a blitz attack by someone she knew. Someone who could walk right in, take their shoes off, and head to her bedroom to chat. And of course, there's a prime suspect. This guy, Bak Chil-ho, he was the last person who called Grandma Oh that morning. His story is that she called him for some pumpkin seedlings and he dropped them off at her gate. But his alibi? A total joke. First he tells the cops, I was spraying pesticides. The cops check. He hadn't. So then he's like, oh, wait, no, I was playing with my grandson. Chloe, the grandson, was sick in a hospital on the mainland that day. He keeps changing his story, sweating, getting defensive, and the final nail in the coffin? He's the only person in that tiny 50-person village who refuses a lie detector test. It's giving, I'm guilty and I know it. The weapon situation is also a whole thing. They found a dumbbell in her room, which matches most of the blunt force trauma. But here's the tea. The coroner found a weird sharp puncture wound right on her lip, like she was being silenced, and a totally different kind of gash on the back of her head. The cops think the killer brought a second weapon. They suspect it was an oyster shucking tool, a sharp, pointy metal pick that every household on that island owns. It's the perfect, untraceable weapon. The killer used it and then just took it with them. That's not a crime of passion. That's premeditated. There was even a witness. A young commuter named Kyung Min-jun was running late and saw a man hanging outside her house that morning. The description he gave totally didn't match Grandma. He even helped the cops with a sketch. The single CCTV camera on the island backs him up, showing a blurry white figure just lingering there. It was the killer, for sure. But now, a wall of silence. No one in that tiny 50-person village is talking. They're all terrified. They know the killer isn't some outsider. It's one of them. It's the guy they drink with, the guy they see at the market, maybe even a relative. So they just look at each other with suspicion and say nothing. Can you imagine that hell? Living on a tiny island, knowing a murderer is walking among you, and you might even know who it is? So creepy.